Get ready for an exciting episode of the Sesh Podcast. Today we welcome rising star Lil Bear, also known as Rye.
At just 21, Lil Bear is making waves in the scene, following in the footsteps of his legendary father, Banjo. With a focus on the intricate art of fuming, Lil Bear brings a fresh perspective, melding traditional techniques with a contemporary new vision.
Join us as we explore the legacy and innovation that Lil Bear brings to the functional glass community. Now let's dive into the artistic journey of Lil Bear.
We wanted to kind of ask first is like, what is your earliest memory of like glass or torch work, either in the shop or at your house?
Yeah, so the earliest memories I had of glass blowing and the art at all was watching my dad create it, just big flames when I would walk in. Earliest stage I could even remember, and having to wear the glasses, and he would instantly show me. He stuck a piece of paper in the kiln and showed me that it would ignite on fire. So right away, when I was a little kid, he instilled in me that ability of watching out for the heat and stuff. So yeah, caution, like you say. And so right there, I knew it was like dangerous, and I was kind of weary of it for a long time. But first time I really looked at glass art and was wowed by it was this it was like a 4-inch big fumicello marble backed with black and silver, and it looked like it looked just like amazing to me, and it was huge and heavy too. I was like maybe 7 or 8 at the time, and I remember asking my parents who made this, and I'm pretty sure they said marble slinger, because I remember that being a funny thing. I was like, oh, that's why he's named that. But even that was the first time I was really amazed by it, and sort of was curious. And about 3 or 4 years later, I would make my own shit.
We interviewed him a few weeks ago, and we asked him where that marble slinger name came from. We got a little bit of background on that, so you'll have to dive into that story. Yeah, that'll be special for you. But that's sick.
Yeah, what is that?
It'll be posted in a few weeks. You can check it out. But
okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, so like, what was then the first time that you actually stepped in and got your hands on melting some glass yourself?
So for that, my dad just reminded me earlier today. We were actually talking about that, but one of the earliest times that I remember now was he brought me in the shop, and I had to have been 5 or 6, and gave me some black stringer and had this little pink vessel and just had me try to write my name in stringer.
Were you able to do
it? Yeah, I was able to do a tangible R, and
that's sick.
Looking back, we still have it somewhere, but
he can write on glass better than he can write on paper.
Probably, yeah.
Just give this guy a marble or whatever he's got to write down.
You guys kept that piece though, that stayed in the family.
Yeah,
that's sick. That's an awesome memento.
Little pink, nug jar, big enough to hold a couple grams maybe.
Perfect.
That's sweet.
Yeah, but then I guess a couple years later, the first real attempt I had at glass was this little taking scraps, because Elbow had come over and worked with my dad and cut all these triangular teeth for his dynos and left these little just cut pieces. And so I was also looking at salt, and what basically the first glass I created was very inspired by salt work. I would take caramel and smear it all over and create this orc little goblin creature and use the broken off elbow pieces to try to make teeth.
Sick.
That was the first stuff I did, 9, 10, 11. I still have some of those. They're little pendants and stuff.
Did your dad help you? Did he have any guidance, or was it kind of just go figure it out?
He definitely demoed, showed me all kinds of stuff. As soon as I would be interested, he'd be like, hey, showed me how to stripe tubing. And I remember actually from a very young age, taking what he learned, what he was showing me, and be like, okay, and then try to teach myself a different way, and rebel.
So this is how you do it, and you just do everything opposite.
Yeah, I would try to smash it all together.
I'm gonna make my own style work. No, that's fun.
Yeah, it's sick. Learn as you go. Yeah. You had all the tools at your disposal, though, so that's nice.
When did you think you kind of define? When did you start to find your groove a little bit on the torch? Yeah. What age?
So when I really start to find a love for it, was when I was like, actually just like when I was 18, 17, I made my first little bong slides, and I was working for my dad making turp pearls at that time as a way to like put gas in the tank and, you know, just get around. And I've made like over 1,000 pearls probably at this point. And yeah, not bad, right? that was the like in Kung Fu Kid, you know, Mr. Miyagi or Karate Kid. I mean, that was painting the fence for me.
Yeah,
exactly. After
I had to pick up dog shit for $20 a week.
Really?
No shit.
I would have to go in the backyard and like literally pick up dog shit. My dad be like, all right, here's $20. Like, you can go to the movies. And your dad's like, nah, bro, you're making 20 fucking pearls. And then I'll give you $20 a go.
My dad never paid me. I always had to go beg the neighbors for work, you know, shovel the driveway,
get on the
cut the grass, whatever. Yeah.
Hustling.
Yeah, hit the
I
streets,
still worked
hustling.
other jobs, but he still would not give me any money unless I worked for it, which, thank you, Dad. He like instilled that hardworking mantra in me, so God bless him.
So that Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax off with the pearls kind of steadied your hand a little bit, and then when you got into making functionals, you were a little bit more comfortable, would you say? Or like, what were the first like functionals then that you put out? What those look like?
Yeah, when really the earliest, you know, calendar date, I was 15 when I really wanted to make a pipe, and he showed me. I like made a little hammer, and that thing's long gone. I lost it at a festival later on, but
incredible. So you made it for yourself.
Later on, and this was a little before the turp pearls, but then I did nothing until the pearls got me back into the passion of it, and right then came these little bong slides, 14 mil, you know, bowl pieces for my friends, and that's where I sort of, you know, found the first passion for it, and it did definitely create this familiarity to just work with the pearls forever and be steady-handed already, and also have this appreciation for the, you know, the hard work that goes into every little tiny thing, having to make those little things round and everything.
Would you sell them to your friends, or you just give them the slides to your buddies?
A little bit of both. You know, I'd say I netted maybe a few $100s over those couple of years, but I would sell a blank slide here or there, and then, you know, trade them.
Yeah, what age was this when you started slinging your own pipes and
to my homies?
Any work.
Yeah, any work.
Yeah. To the homies and stuff. Like, I was 17, 16 maybe.
Sick.
But
nice.
Yeah, and then not really at the heady quality. I didn't consider myself an artist or give myself a name yet. Had no Instagram. It was really like. It was like 2 or 3 more years before actually I considered, you know, making it a career per se. And for that time, it was just a way to make smokers.
When did you get the name Lil Bear? How did that come about?
Yeah.
So that one actually, it is like a stretch from the earlier days. So the homies who I would sell the bonk slides to, I'd sort of had this nickname back then, which was Papa Bear. And it's because I would just like have glass and give them glass, and I would like call myself that. But starting to make actual headies, I didn't want to call myself Papa anything, so I switched it then. Lil Bear, you know,
you humbled yourself. Up. Yeah, you humbled yourself.
Exactly.
Wow, I wonder if at some point he's gonna switch to Papa Bear glass.
Nah, man, I was always curious about all
maybe he fucking grows like the caterpillar into the butterfly, like his dad was talking about.
Yeah, you could. That's the metamorphosis.
He goes in as Lil Bear and he comes out as Papa Bear.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a couple years off, but that would be epic.
And so then, I remember, I don't know, it was probably like 2018, I feel like, maybe. I saw some work with, like, you were collabing with your dad on some hammers and some stuff. Maybe Stoked even had a few of those. Might have been even a little bit later, maybe 2019. But...
Yep.
Was that kind of like your first leg into like getting some of your stuff into shops and selling it more mainstream, like not just to your friends and stuff around the neighborhood?
Yeah, pretty much. One of the very first shops that I showed work at was the Glass Station, which is right when we moved to Arkansas. Yeah.
Wade from the Glass Station. We were just talking about him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you sell him?
Yeah, what were those first pieces?
And so like me and Dad did a little joint show of some fumies that we collabed on, and then shortly after, I actually traded him a case of glass and a little bit of cash for a Swiss perk.
Nice.
So my first solo work in shops, I was trading for like my first Heady Bong with.
Was that
That's
your first
dope.
Heady? Was a Swiss?
Yep.
You were chasing it. Were you chasing it for function, or why you knew you wanted it? You wanted it over a Saab. You wanted it over an Illinois.
It's
You wanted a
iconic
Swiss.
design, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but
I like the airiness and easy to clean and big, like chuggy function, but it still recycles. It's my favorite.
Do you still have that one?
Yeah, I still shred it. It's like
Sick.
a big, giant double XL one.
I mean, it's legendary too, because it's like your first case of work, kind of going to a shop, plus a little bit of cash for like this pipe. It's pretty legendary. To be
Yeah, it
honest.
is dope. Outside of your
right?
dad,
I was proud. Happy at the time for it. Yeah, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, outside your dad, like, what was the first like couple collabs then you got in? Was that like at home or on the road?
Shoot. The very first collab I did was with the homie Gus, Cowboy's son. He goes
Sick.
by Gus Life for Life.
Yep.
We made a little bowl piece. Yeah, that's like a year before I probably collabed with anybody else.
What did you
but
do on that? Did you shape? Did he shape it or you shape it? And did you have a style at the time?
At the time, it was just the exact fume I had learned from my dad, and then little push bowls, so hollow, not like the martini kind. And we put one of his little dot dudes attached to the side, and
Sick.
I shaped the whole thing. It was pretty decent, yeah.
Nice.
So the first like collab after that would have been with the homie Hash Browns. I think maybe a local Arkansas friend.
I don't know if I know him. Is he blowing still? Is he still on the torch?
Yeah, he's on the torch still. He does fumes and is part of the local scene. Yeah, good guy.
Nice, bro. So when did you start to get your love for fume work? I know that you do a lot of fume and you do some pretty detailed freaking patterns, bro. So when did you start to experiment with fume and yeah?
Yeah, I'd say like when I started and what spurred me on was around summer of 2021, really. I was looking at Royals glass and it was just blowing my mind. Maccabee also. Those are the two
Those guys
OGs
do
who I
some
was just...
crazy fume work. Have you seen Mac?
Yeah, it's
Machiavellian?
like crazy online. Yeah, it's always popping.
Yeah, that guy works.
Yeah.
Some crazy fume, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pulls like every color of the
His-
spectrum into his shit. It's crazy.
for real. The dot boxes was like the most insane thing to me at the time, too. And I hadn't seen my dad do it, which was, I guess, why it was most amazing. But their color is just, like you say, incomparable.
Yeah. They can pull all the colors out. So did you learn from somebody or, obviously you see all these guys making these pipes. You have your dad with the knowledge base. How'd you start into the fume world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was pretty much exactly how Pops does it. I watched him do spinning rakes first, like the simplest basic fume pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Once I could get my color was when I started to want to self-teach. And so I went for those dot boxes that Royals and Maca do. Around then was when I started to continue with pattern in that other direction and also pretty much utilize the foundation. It was all from my dad at the time.
Now, do you feel like you've stretched the techniques into your own? Like you got your own ways, your own pattern flows. How did you adapt from what you were learning to make it your own style?
So, yeah, basically by trying to continue with the dots because, funny enough, that I think was the seed for my entire career at this point so far, which is just begun. But the desire to make an even kind of stained glass-esque pattern, which you could look through and I always try to call back to sort of antiquity and sort of architectural patterns and psychedelic patterns too, pretty much. I would try to get the dots and draw stringers in between them or draw lines over them and stuff. And so the whole seed of my career with making those fumes like that was trying to continue in the kind of psychedelic sacred geometry direction.
Yeah,
So have you
that's
fucked
sick.
around with psychedelics a lot? Obviously, we're talking psychedelics and psychedelic geometry, and I know your family has a history with
Yeah.
having fun. So what are some of your fun stories on psychs?
Oh man,
Psychedelics. Psychs.
For fun stories, I mean, shoot, it's hard to draw up a perfect example, but I can say I've had a lot of fun with them creating art and staying up all night just drawing on the same piece of paper, trying to do stuff. Actually, when I was experimenting with those was way earlier than my current glass career. Like, I mean, I say way. I meant a couple of years ago. I was drawing.
I was like 3 years old, man.
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. So
Continue.
long. I was wee 17-year-old, but I wanted to be a painter like Alex Gray, actually, Chris Dyer. Those were some of my favorites.
This guy's killing.
Before I really got bit by the glass, yeah. So combining
Glass
art and
bug.
psychedelics was my thing at the time.
Yeah, that piece behind you is pretty
And-
trippy.
Oh yeah, one of my main inspirations here too. Yeah.
That's dope.
Who are
I'd
some
say
of your other
Jonathan Sulfur.
inspirations
Yeah.
with both in glass and art?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd say one of the ones I've from my head introduced me to this artist at a young age was H.R. Giger, and the same with Alex Gray. I love both of those guys, but some artists who I've like really admire also within glass would be Aquarius, of course. I kind of have been really loving the skulls and also combining that with the ornamental sort of pattern.
He makes some really
And,
cool stuff.
Yoshi.
Yeah, you're kind of flexing into those dot
Yeah.
face work a little
I
bit.
have seen the
I like
flex.
that a lot.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
Yeah, your clown faces like on
Thank
those
you, dude.
mibs at
Yeah.
the marble party just past weekend at Mints. That was sweet. And like there was like
Yeah. And
it was definitely like a definitive style for you. Like I looked at the collective that you put
Yeah.
out there,
You could see
and I
that's
was
Lil
like,
Bear's-
that corner was your corner. You
Yeah,
know?
that was really
That
cool.
was
You're-
sick to see.
You're developing your own style more
Yeah,
or less.
definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, it's one thing I kind of did strive to do from the start when I decided to make glass was like employ what people do, but also have something sort of that is my own style. Oh, it looks like my audio might go out in a second. If it does, I'm sorry. I'll let you guys know. But
We'll check it out. Yeah, we'll let you know.
No stress.
But yeah,
back
I
to
mean,
the question. Yeah.
with that, you know,
I would-
being said, and the things that you've been trying recently, is there, you know, anything that you're really looking forward to on the horizon? Either like an exhibition or show, trying a new style.
I'm excited for a lot, man. I'm excited to continue making functionals that have like the dot patterns that I've been doing. That's just very new to me so far as doing a fully worked functional pipe. And I'm also excited to keep going to these trade shows and, you know, to name them like Glass Vegas and to go to the Michigan Glass Project and these other yearly staples.
Have you
where I
put
really
work into
connect
any
with
of them yet?
a lot of friends. I've shown twice at Vegas and
Sick.
worked at MGP before as well.
Nice.
Every time it's just the most uplifting thing to, you know, connect with the community.
MGP is
It's really
such a
great.
good concept and a good thing for the community where all the glass artists are coming together. They're making a bunch of work and then they auction it off and all of it goes back into the community. It's a non-profit event. Those guys are really doing some good work and I know it's one of the most highly talked about events too
Yeah,
in
dude.
this space. Like people are looking
It's because
forward
of
to
the
it
energy, man.
every
the
single year.
energy
Yeah.
is like palpable. It's definitely like an event, like by the community, for the community type of vibe.
Yeah,
And
those
like you
guys
can
are
tell
putting
the
on.
artists like it, everyone there, you know, attending loves it, and the art that comes out is sick. This year with Chris Dyer, the piece that he did, that thing was fucking huge. That was dope. to
Oh
watch him
man,
do
that
the
shit was
couple days.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now you put together a very nice body of work for Mins. I know we touched on it a second ago. What I know you collabed. It looked like with AKM. Were there a couple other collabs in that body? And you know when did you see AKM to make that one?
Okay, yeah. That show was I was really happy with the turnout for it. I got a couple collabs in, 2 with Dad that had like a little Vision Cane Millie in it, and then the AKM. It was a male collab that he had sent some prep for me when he sent some just to finish off something with my dad.
That marble was
it was the first.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
I can try to get you guys pictures of these.
We're definitely going to crop in
Yeah,
some
no,
of this
we'll
stuff.
definitely show that one.
Yeah.
That one was beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot, dudes. But the main collab was that AKM one. Biggest marble I've done so far. And, you know, probably maybe my personal favorite piece of glass I've shown, like collab-wise.
It's
Got
nice.
this other...
That thing was super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And right when I pulled into town, too, I got picked up by a local homie named K-Rob. And went out to another homie, Slick Rick's place, and
Slick Rick,
we
good
stayed
guy.
up. Yeah, great guy.
Really good people.
We actually were. When I pulled up, it was like 12:30, and we were all just like ripping dabs, melting glass. Stayed up like another 5 hours.
That's it, man.
I banged out another collab with the local fume homie, Weber Glass, and so that was the one other collab piece we had for Mins. I was really stoked on it.
Wow,
that's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Now I know you made your first functional more recently. You want to tell us about that, and you know what was your inspiration behind that first functional? I think you may even have it with you.
Yeah, this right here, I'll hold up my second while I talk about it, but I just started doing these in like my very first little functional rigs. Just my dream has been to sort of create like, you know, the fully worked little straight tube. That's what the current goal is.
Sure.
So the first functional I did was just like this, clear, but with some fume down in the inside and a fume base, little fume skull on the back.
Heater, man.
And it's been a good learning experience to get into these, you know, not really having done a lot yet. And once I, you know, keep bending the curve.
Pick that thing back up. Pick that thing back up real quick. So walk us through it. You got a worked base, and then it looks like a fixed down stem 2-hole, 3-hole. What are we working with here?
Yeah, I like that S on the back too. It's sick.
It's a little pig snout 2-hole, opened up and drawn with a black stringer. And then this right here is a 1-of-1 pretty much pattern. I recreated my fume pattern with black and white. Whew. And it kind of imploded really sweet on the inside.
The way
the optics through the water is fantastic.
Yeah, very cool.
Definitely love that.
Now pull on that thing. Let's see the function. Little chopper, and the way that you made that bell is beautiful. It's a splash guard too. I typically see the top mouthpieces like that, and they're thinner. I get a little bit nervous that it's going to be a straw and suck too much water up, but it looks like you really managed.
It's good ratio.
Yeah, dude, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah,
that's
I'm really
fantastic.
Happy with that. It is also kind of inspired by my hammer, you know, which is directly from Dad. It's straight to a Maria and then would be the can. So I just blew that up and made it the bong shape. You know?
Oh, nice. I can see it.
And then it ended up being a perfect little splash guard.
Man, it works perfectly. And then can you show us that front mib again?
That's
nice.
Yeah, so on the very front, it might be hard to see, but it's a clown, a little juggalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also
a diamond eyes. That's sick.
Woo.
Tiny little flip skate.
That S on the back is just so freaking
UV color in the back there.
Yeah, and then it's got.
It looks like it's citrine.
Citrine.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, nailed it.
That's right. Yeah, you got it. Hell yeah, dude.
So, are you playing with the perk as well on this thing? You gonna play maybe a 3-hole? I like what Haps does on his gridded perks.
Yeah, the
you
gridded.
know, even like playing
nice.
with like a gridded on a fixed down stem, I feel like would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
it
could work.
Yeah. Is that like saw cut or drawn with stringer? You mean?
Just a stringer across like a wide hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it like a plus.
I want to try that.
You could do like a 2 split or like a 4 grid.
Yeah.
It definitely like helps out.
You can keep the pig snout and then grid it.
Yeah, definitely like cracks open more bubbles.
Fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad move. This one has the black stringer, 1 line, but a 2-line for more
bro, you killed it.
diffusion.
You killed on that thing.
Yeah, I love how you adapted the fume with the black and white dots. I think that's really smart. It's definitely something to continue exploring, I think. Yeah, it's
Thank
sick.
you. Yeah,
It's
that's
so sick.
that's the first little fume pattern I innovated
Because that's
to. Back
for
to
the for the people who
previous
don't
topic.
know, that's typically how you would lay the fume, right? You would fume on the
Yeah.
metals, lay the clear dots, and then maybe pull some stringers or rake over with some tools, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a good illustration. I would do the white dots and then the black stringer. It would all be clear on silver and gold. That was the first fume pattern that I wouldn't say invented,
Nice.
but
You're on it.
I sort of made it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
The non-glass blower, glass blower. Look at you.
Yeah. I guess
He's
it's
breaking
like,
that shit down for you on damn tape.
I like the engineering side as much as the art side, I think.
I like-
Definitely the more time I spend around the torch and in the shop, seeing the behind the scenes, the more I can appreciate the work that goes into it. So, yeah, seeing you progress and your work progress has been fun so far. And that's why we were stoked to get you on here, too, to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I like that you're doing 90s with them too, because a lot of these mini tubes.
90 is
Yeah.
necessary.
Once they switch to the 45, I've kind of told myself I'm done buying 45s unless it's
Unfortunately.
an absolute
Yeah.
heater.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So,
same.
but that kind of restricts
Right,
you
right.
from doing a removable downstem
Mm-hmm.
because you can't do a removable 90. So it's like you really got to
You're
find
right.
that perfect science that like it's a beautiful function, knowing that you're stuck with that downstem because some of these tubes are you just make a really nice tube and if the downstem sucks, then you hit up one of your favorite glass blowers that makes a good one. You know, we've done this countless numbers of times where the tube will be good, it's really nice shaping, the art's beautiful, but it just fucking sucks, man. And you're like, we get this in, we want it to work better, and we'll hit up a different glass blower to make a downstem. So when you're working with these fixies, you just got to make sure the function's dialed in. But I love where you're going with the 90s.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to experiment with it, but it's also something that, like, I don't know, from a collector's perspective, it's kind of fun to have differences. People kind of challenge each other on which one's best, and it's like,
And
I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
Heady
it's
part of
right.
the game, for sure. So you're chasing, like,
Right.
raw function with this design. This is, like, where you're starting. Do you think you'll ever get into, you know, more concept, like, shaped, blown-out pieces similar to your dad, or do you think this is kind of, like, the realm that you're going to live in for now?
You know, that's a good question to ask because at the time I've almost been, wondering myself lately, but I know I want to be doing sculptural work eventually that functions, but back to one of my most inspired glass artists at the time being Aquarius. I kind of want to maybe start sculpting skulls, also Carson
Sick.
and AKM,
Sure. Sure.
but it's almost the hesitance is because there's a lot of people doing it already. I don't know if I
You find your
want
own
to just
path.
blend in. Right. But it depends. Soon enough, I think I will be trying to sculpt maybe like either a skull or something, right here. I've also been thinking a lot about the Alien movies, H.R. Giger type art, which has like skulls and body parts worked into pattern, and maybe going into 3D to help push that direction might be a way to access that.
Yeah, I think with your like rap and rake skills, you should be able to bust out some cool like trippy, like blotter paper type skulls. That would be sick. You already are like nailing it almost with the clowns too.
This
Those
kind
faces
Yeah,
come out, like,
thank you,
really
dudes.
nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Kind of a tougher question, but do you ever feel imposter syndrome? Like being who you are and, like
That's a good
feeling the
question,
pressure
yeah.
of, your
Truly.
dad's a
Yeah.
fucking legend, bro.
Or
Dude,
not,
I'd
or do you
say,
just never even think about it? Is he just some
No,
guy
absolutely.
to you?
I absolutely do feel, mostly out when traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
Like quite like holy shit, this is just how it is. And also when I remember the concept of being at barbecues and stuff with some of these glass artists, and at the time when I was a kid, they were just whatever, like, oh, Uncle Ari, oh, look, there's, Marcel. And then way down the line, I started blowing glass, and these become like people who I severely admire,
Yeah.
through the art. it is kind of like a weird feeling to be like, whoa, you know, that's just a thing that it does feel like, I wouldn't say it ever extends to imposter syndrome, but it becomes more of a, wow, this is a crazy opportunity, you know, and that's, you know, doubly what makes me want to grip onto the scene and keep creating art as much as I can.
Did you feel pressure that you had to go into glass?
Not initially, you know, and I wouldn't say that there isn't any pressure, just like, but I kind of
outside the pressure you put on yourself then.
Yeah, I mean, you want to push yourself to be the best.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
The only pressure is pressure I put on myself. That's I couldn't say it better.
Now, if it wasn't glass, though, where would you be? What would you be doing?
Or
Probably
what else
trying to
do you
create
do?
paintings like that.
Yeah. Do you still paint and shit on the side, or write or anything?
I do a lot of drawing, and it's been trading back and forth, influenced with my glass too lately.
That's pretty cool.
I definitely, from the start, wanted to be an artist, you know, capital A, do whatever kind of medium I did. But glass currently, it became definitely the love for it. And I would say any bit of pressure I feel coming from inside, it's like, it doubles down into inspiration, you know, at the potential for it.
That's what's up. I know there's a way to marry this stuff too, because, you know, you think of guys like Chihuly, and Chihuly will paint pieces. He'll paint pieces before he even builds them and constructs them, just because he wants to make sure that he can lay out, well, I mean, he's doing crazy pieces and lay out the plan for his team, but I mean, you can kind of do the same thing where you're marrying your love for art and drawing and all that stuff, and then
that might be what helps, you know, some of these guys push their boundaries even, you know, like trying to conceptualize it in a different medium makes you kind of like flex outside the realm of what you think is like possible with like the glass that you've been in front of. So I think it's cool to combine everything.
I got a
and
custom.
Like, you could definitely see it in your most recent dot work.
Yeah, I got a custom from Ethan Windy, and I know it was early on, and I was so stoked because he told me, yo, I'm going to make you this piece, but I'm going to draw you as well. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? So he drew the piece, painted it, framed it, signed it, painted the pelican, designed the whole thing, and he made this custom piece for me. That was literally me in the Wookiee mask, which was so sick. Just marrying all of that stuff, and I know that he comes from a background of art, you know, and when I'm talking to you, it just like seems like it can be a lane where you can kind of find an intersection of your passions as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say another guy I'd have to call out is Joe P., who I always love for combining, you know, different mediums. I love the potential that there is to combine drawing with glass, especially, and that's what I love to see Joe P. do. He draws like the piece on the pelican. Even during a class, I saw him throw on metaverse glasses and go drawing in 3D world into something that him and my dad made. But yeah, Ethan's a badass with what he does too.
Yeah, that's super badass.
Yeah, that's so.
Now, as you're starting to find your lane here, obviously you did the tubes, you got that, and you did this big body of marble work. I mean, do you find yourself, you know, doing marbles to warm up, or are you going to keep doing the tubes? Where are you going right now?
For now, marbles are
marbles are hot.
They're the hot cakes right now for what I'm selling. And then tubes, I gotta say, is the long term, the goal, the passion.
Sure.
I want to create, you know, timeless smokers essentially.
Love it.
And so,
well worded.
Really, I find it hard to, you know, put the marble down and make a tube lately, but it's the pattern I have to try.
How about cup season? Have you made any cups?
Cups.
I've made.
Would be cool.
It's cup season.
I've made a single digit amount of cups. Like, I gotta definitely do more. People haven't asked me to lately.
Yeah, you gotta shoot for the 12. You gotta shoot for, I think, 14 to 16 ounces, and then just tech them out, bro. You could do some sick cups where you have your dot stack plus your fume work, and I think that would come together really nice, and then decorate the bottom super heady, because once...
I'm gonna have to do that, yeah.
Once there's a dark liquid in fume, you know, you see all the magic that comes out in fume, so...
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the coffee cups.
You could be killing it with that.
Yeah. Coffee
One of my favorite fume vessels I have, is a fumed out dot box from the homies.
So have you been...
coffee in a fume cup.
Yeah, it'd be fucking
great.
fire.
It's fire.
Have you been mostly messing around with gold fume, or you do silver fuming as well? Are you hitting everything as far as the fume world?
It's pretty much the combination of both always. So to get my patterns, it's the blue is I do raw silver and then do dots, and that creates blue dots. Then usually always a variation of gold, then more clear, and then it creates either blue and red or blue and green.
Yeah, sick.
So always both, and it's something I've been having to like combine with the dot stacking lately to keep myself fresh on both.
I think something that's like an obvious next step with the dot stacking comes layering. Now, do you think that have you done anything with starting to layer some of your dot stacks even within itself as far as a marble, or have you gotten into any multi-level marbles?
I've just started into that. The first time I figured out sleeving a marble was like this January. So going on, that many months, 8 or 9, that I've really known it, and I've been experimenting. My deepest marble's been 3 layers.
Sick.
And the AKM one actually had like 3 or 4 sleeves over the course of it, just to get
that thing is
the
nice.
fume and the milli right.
And to get the size, dude. Yeah. It's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that.
Yeah, sleeving.
That marble, because the AKM, you tucked his milli within your, it's multiple millis that were kind of layered, correct?
Yeah, we'll have to pull
and then
up a
you
picture.
pulled the fume around it, from what I can remember from that one.
It was a dot stack. It was a chip stacked AKM with like 2 skulls on it, and it was hollow when he gave it to me. So I sleeved the inside with clear so you could see the inside of the skulls.
Sick.
Then covered it in dots, and it became a little cylinder inside of a few dot layers that you could see pretty deeply. Yeah. It was a really small piece of prep, like an inch or 2 tall by half an inch wide.
Well, you made a nice marble out of that thing, man. Good job.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
On the collaboration wave, is there anybody that you're excited to get out there and start collabing with?
Oh, man. There's some people you're going to see work with very soon who I guess I don't want to like spoil, but
sure.
I got to say people who I dream of collabing with would definitely be Aquarius, of course, is an inspiration I want to work with.
Sure.
Scotty Mickle would be really cool to get down with.
Heck yeah.
John's been on a Scotty
I'd like to make
something big with
Yeah, he's been riding that train. Go ahead.
Way on. He's clean with it. Keep going. Sorry.
Seriously. But yeah, I'd like to really work with Joe P. We've done a small hammer, but I would love to do a big thing with him one day, because
hell yeah,
he's just an artist I've seen a lot and been inspired by my whole life.
Who knows, man? Maybe even some of his attachments on one of your functionals someday.
Right.
The honeybees on one of those tubes.
Yeah, it would be sick.
Deck one of those things up in the honeycombs and put the bees all over it, and
I can definitely envision some of those collabs happening.
Yeah, I can already see that thing for sure.
But it would be sick to see you work towards those on this hopefully long glass journey. You think you see a long, bright future in this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I gotta say, speaking to my personal career and goals, but also to the scene of glass in general, I see a lot of growth, and like we're at the beginning of potentially just a long stretch of steady, consistent presence in the community. Glass is going to continue. It doesn't go away, When a piece breaks, it goes back to the earth, but glass art changes hands and people keep seeing it for the first time and becoming exposed. And so personally, that inspires me to the extent that I want to stay making it my entire life.
Who's some pieces that are in your collection? You got anybody in your collection already?
Yeah, I've started really accruing marbles. And
Who you like to collect?
The heater marble that's like in the family collection is a nice single like gongster acid eater.
Oof.
But some of my favorites,
The
my
family
favorites
collection. I like that.
the personal ones, right? Where Ben Focus is a good homie out of Oregon.
Nice.
Who
Yeah.
I like.
I
His little
just brought his
carving
name up
marble.
last night. That's funny. Isn't that
Yeah,
ironic?
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and turfs. I love turfs. The honeycomb.
Oh, his
marbles.
honeycomb marbles are beautiful. He also makes really
His
awesome
next level.
boxes to go with them.
Yeah, I
don't know
love
if
like
you've
the
seen-
optics
Yeah.
as you turn them. Yeah, the boxes. That's like an example of taking it like
He
another
finishes it.
another
Yeah,
layer
man.
deeper. You know, it's just
Yeah,
it's
that's
really nice to
inspiring.
see a presentation like that.
I've been getting a lot of marbles from little marble blowers over in Japan, and
They're
marble
all like
blowers.
that.
Dude, they all send the best boxes with their marbles. The presentation
Yeah.
is like fantastic. They'll even put like a little red bow on it,
Yeah,
and you're like, "What the fuck, man? This is amazing."
yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
a lot of that.
the attention to
thoughtfulness.
details.
Yeah,
Fantastic on
Yeah.
that stuff.
Man,
That's
I just
sick.
saw for the first time in person a big like Yoshi box that was in a
Aren't they
Sam
nice?
Ninja's collection. They're so insane, like finished wood and everything.
It's so beautiful. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
man.
spending,
that was part of the reason I bought the
5-10K on a marble
box.
you have to finish.
Yeah.
Even the clear boxes for the small ones, they got like the big wide like cellophane like boxes.
Yeah,
Those
the
ones are
classy
sick.
kind.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you gotta be
before
careful.
anyone else had those. Yeah,
Remember?
they're dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Dude.
RIP to that fucking stand, bro.
Yeah. Glass.
Glass
goes
is
back
glass.
to the earth. I
All
like the way
glass
you said that
dies.
earlier. Yeah.
How long,
Eventually, all glass goes back to the earth for sure.
how long you been smoking hash for?
Yeah.
I've been smoking hash since it really started being popular when I was about 17, 16, like
So-
solventless rosin.
You've seen the rise of the different types of bangers over the couple of years then. You know what I saw?
Oh, yeah,
I saw
absolutely.
you using it looked like a bucket. Do you fuck around with the slurpers, and what's perfect function in your mind?
So to me, I'm pretty much with the slurpers, and the most recent one I've got to say that I support is control towers.
You like the
I have
control?
a China one here with like some Cheerios around it. but
Nice, fuck
The
yeah.
control tower, man.
John
highly
loves the
educated.
control
Our guy in the background's going off. He's
Yeah.
all about that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Gang, gang.
Is that wave quartz?
But yeah, that's what's up.
Oh,
Say that again.
it could have
Yeah.
been. No, our buddy has a banger company. We thought it could have been his banger.
Yeah.
It's fucking fire.
Yeah, that would've
Yeah,
been
John
fire.
loves the control tower. Unfortunately, our control tower fought my Toro Slurper, and they both died.
Both lost.
They both self-destructed. Yeah, dude, I was bringing them in
battle went
one of
down.
those banger baskets, the ISO dunks, and I brought it inside my house, and John hit me. He's like, dude, can't find my control tower. You definitely took it. I said, that's absolute bullshit. I didn't take
Yeah.
your thing. And I got inside, and I called him that I actually did take it by accident, and they fought. And they both died.
He says,
Self-destruct.
he says he's totally innocent. in
I am
this whole
totally innocent,
story.
bro.
I'm like, man, I left,
They fought.
came back,
It was a suicide mission by
no banger.
your banger.
No banger.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So
That's
yeah, so as
Talking
you
to the
start to
game.
develop your mini tube out, are you going banger specific here? Are you trying to make it, rip with a slurper, or are you
You should think about sending out a traveler too. I was thinking
Traveler would be
earlier. I
smart.
meant to bring that up. Yeah.
yeah,
that'd be
travelers are
fire.
really fucking smart for new artists to get out there.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm biased. Send me.
What is a traveler?
It's like a piece that artists. I guess it's kind of a relatively new concept. I don't know. The first time I heard about it was like 2 years ago.
Yep.
Couple
Okay.
artists like sending around just prototype pieces basically
It could
to
be like
get
a
other
beater.
people's beater
Yeah.
piece really for people to pass around, and it kind of travels around the country like collector to collector to get some feedback on the design and the function, and also like kind of hype up the long term design concept overall.
So here's the problem.
It's
Is
definitely been
That's
fun
smart.
for us
I
with
love
some of the
that.
travelers that we've gotten and been able to give feedback on. I think the first one that I got was JFL, a portal tube back in the day. So, but yeah, sick.
Damn.
Yeah, that thing is cool. It's
That's
a really
legendary,
good
too.
idea for glass artists who also don't have the market yet, I know that there's some guys that are trying to sell into a higher, headier market, but they don't have the collector base because they don't have a loyal collector base that already bought into their work at a lower price point. So for them, what a traveler can do is introduce that headier crew and the headier buyers to their pieces, to their function, etc. So a lot of these guys, you know, if they haven't touched a pipe, they haven't hit it before, you know, they're not going to just spend 2, 3K, even 1K on a pipe on some of these things. So once they get the traveler, if they're confident in their skills, confident in their function, you send that around the country. You know, the collectors are all taking care of it. It goes on to the next collector, and you're also getting exposure because all the guys are hyping it up. They're putting it on their story.
Yeah, I mean, I was bringing it to sessions and
it.
stuff too, sharing it around. It's fun for everyone.
Yeah, it's a really, really good way to do it. And obviously, you're not sending your biggest heater out there. Yeah. It's just something that shows what you can do. You know, maybe a little accent with some milli or a little color or anything. But, yeah, it really just helps to get your name out there and get your exposure out there.
Definitely. So keep that in mind. Think about that. It's a cool concept. And let us know first, obviously. You know, if you're sending one around, we'll pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, we can help also get that thing through all of the country. We got a collector base and friends in every corner of this country.
Yeah, we have a pretty good scene here in DC too. Good heady crowd. But
yeah, I'll be definitely R&Ding some of my first headies with you guys, and the goal is recyclers one day, but I definitely want to have like a build for that. So mini tubes for now.
Yeah, man, no pressure. Take your time, and we're stoked to see what comes out. But I think we're getting close to the end of our session here. It's been really exciting to hear kind of your perspective on everything, growing up with your dad and coming into glass. We're going to look forward to watching your progression of your style, and as you get into more functionals, hopefully we get a little traveler piece of our own to show off and tout around.
We like to end these with letting you have one final word or one final tip of advice to the people watching. So
exactly,
give it to us. Lay it down for us, something.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, dudes. I appreciate it. And yeah, first off, can't wait to, you know, continue building and working in the Discord community and hanging with you guys. But to all the people, I'd say, not to be put on the spot, but for all the people out in the glass industry, I would say if this market seems tough, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, it's a dip right now, but it goes in cycles, man. And right now we're just in a weird, funky spot, and things are going to get better. There's always another collector out there. You just got to keep your head down and keep grinding. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and to add further to that, my entire glass journey has come up through this current last 1.5, 2 years of dark time, so to speak.
It's
and
crazy.
I've consistently been doing better every month, so I gotta say, people are still growing. Yeah, I was born. Exactly. You know. Well, thank you, dude.
Lil Bane.
Man, so much love to you, Lil Bear. Thank you for coming on, and we can't wait to see where your glass career goes, man. So much love.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
Fuck yeah. Y'all rock.